Thank you for joining us on the RP Experience. I'm your host, Andrew Regenart. Today we have Jonathan Polk, one of our preferred partners, on the podcast with us.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So a little bit about Jonathan. Jonathan is preferred partner with Polk Industries. Jonathan was born and raised in New Jersey, but he's been in Florida since he moved to the state at 16 years old. As an adult, he set some roots down here in Southwest Florida, after graduating from Florida Southern College with a degree in hospitality management. He landed a job in wine sales. He was actually the number one salesperson in the state, but he just realized wine sales was not his passion. And he wanted to decide, at that point, he decided to enter into the land surveying. Jonathan continues to serve title companies, real estate lawyers throughout Florida. With Jonathan's services, he offers lien searches, land surveys, and home inspections. So, Jonathan, you do a lot, man of a lot of traits, a lot of talent, right? I think it all stems obviously back to your relationship building stuff, which we're going to talk about later. But welcome to the podcast, Jonathan. And, obviously you moved from Jersey. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate this opportunity. Jonathan Polk, I was born and raised in New Jersey, like Andrew had said. And I moved down here instead of my parents waiting till they were at retirement age. They just said, why not? Let's go for it. Naples, Florida, we landed, went to college, got a job with a very competitive wine sales industry. I did realize it wasn't my passion. And
what do you think, sorry to interrupt, but why do you think it wasn't your passion? Was it just the industry or just constant sales?
Yeah, I reached the pinnacle of what you could do in that position.
Oh, the ceiling kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I reached the ceiling, and there was a ceiling with a territory, and the next move was California for, the wine country, and that wasn't going to be me. So I, went job hunting, and I found a marketing position starting off in the land surveying industry. I was paid to go and cold call every title company in the West Coast, from here to Port Charlotte, and just walk in an office, introduce myself, tell them about the product I was selling, a land surveying. When you get a mortgage, you have to get a land survey to purchase a home. Unless there's an affidavit for one, most likely you're going to need a new updated one, especially in these times now. Mm-hmm. So I started doing that, and then we hit the crash. And I don't use that word lightly, the crash of 2008, that era. Mm-hmm. During that, nobody was buying anything. Nobody was borrowing money for sure.
Right.
So
before that, they were handing out like candy.
And business was great. Then it literally crashed, and I was almost without a job, literally. And so I kind of started looking for other things to sell my current book of business of title companies and real estate lawyers. So a lien search company approached me to work for them, and I was like, okay, I'll do that, but can I do the surveying too? Because it doesn't really, conflict.
Yeah.
So the same customer orders both the lien search and the survey. One at the very beginning.
Coming in with two things to offer.
Yeah. One at the very beginning of the process and one at the close to the very end. So that opened up a million new doors for opportunities, as well as another product to sell my current book of business. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I was really one of the only marketers in the business. So I had free reign. I also lived in Miami during the time. So I had a place in Miami and a place here in Naples. And all I did all day was cold call up and down the coast. And I built this wide, vast book of business. And now it's even national, due to the fact that I cover the entire nation with lien searches and estoppels and all the products that company offers. And it just kind of blew up. So when things are down in the mortgage industry, things are up in the refi, and I got everything covered so that my book of business is in ups and downs.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what. Somehow, some way, you're able to service what is hot, right? And
absolutely.
And
kind of I like to think I can, for especially title agents and real estate lawyers, and this also obviously goes toward the realtor side of things, I cover everything you need from very start of the process to the very end. Mm-hmm. And I can give you quotes and tell you what to look for, especially with the inspections and with your land surveying. I mean, people sometimes don't get a land survey. I highly suggest it because in my business, when you actually see, somebody's fence could be 4 feet into your property. If you don't know that, you can't politely, I suggest, ask them to move the fence,
right?
Because you have every right, because that's your land,
right?
Also, then there comes in, with the seawall. What do you actually own? You don't own the water. Do you own the beach?
Yeah.
Do you own your boat dock? How does it go? There's a lot of things that go into it. Yeah. It's very important to know exactly what you're buying.
Right. And I mean, that's the only way to have the knowledge, right, is to get the actual survey.
Yeah. And for future additions or pools, you have to know this. You literally have to know it. Mm-hmm. And as far as with a land survey is attached to elevation certificates. Mm-hmm. Now, everybody that we're talking to right now has to have insurance.
Right.
You have to have insurance. So what's going on with all these insurance companies and the hurricane that just happened, for example, a lot of insurance companies they're pulling out of Florida,
right,
and they're not writing insurance. So there's only a couple companies that are writing right now, and people are at sticker shock over their pricing. Now, you can get an elevation certificate through me, and that it is what it is, how high you are and where FEMA says that the flood, the flood zone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could be not in a flood zone and your insurance is little, or you on the beach and your flood insurance just went sky high.
Yeah.
You don't have to get the insurance.
You have to have insurance, not the flood insurance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
If you have a mortgage, you have to have the insurance.
Right.
So there you go.
Yeah. And then a lot are doing the self-insured, which that's a whole nother rabbit hole, right? But that's...
Yeah, I'm not going down that one.
Yeah. You're not the insurance guy. Don't worry. So what do you think first piqued your interest in the sense of like land surveying and like, I mean, I guess you'd say the real estate realm, because like your wine, right? Alcohol, beverages, like you're a totally different industry. Like what kind of piqued your interest there?
Well, I got the job with the land surveying company, and I realized very quickly that it was just, again, creating relationships, asking for the sale when the sale is right, and also giving a product that your customers need and want for them to grow their home, their family, anything like that. But the main thing is that I really enjoy talking to people, and it's all positive stuff. People are buying homes. You're literally helping the American build the American dream.
Yeah. Now, obviously, it is about those relationships, and it's, you've mentioned multiple times in the years now I've known you is the connections, right?
Correct.
Talk about how critical that is from your business standpoint. I mean, if anyone's listening, it applies to every single business. Does not matter how or what, but how critical is it to yours specifically?
It's extremely critical. Like, just in life and business, you have to be responsive. You have to work on relationships. You have to maintain them. I am one of those sales guys that says, please email me, write me, text me, call me. Doesn't matter what time, I'm there. I will pick up the phone, whether it's great news or terrible news. I will tell you, and I will be honest with you. Mm-hmm. So the relationships are everything. My clients know when something happens, or even they mess up and they call me to fix their mess up, I do it. Mm-hmm. And I gladly do it. And I gladly take all the heat. Mm-hmm. And that's what I do for a living. And then once you establish that kind of relationship, they continue to use you. Mm-hmm. And when they're forced sometimes to use other vendors, it doesn't go smooth because they don't have a contact person. Somebody's not returning their email or call. So it's all about response and attentive to your client's needs.
Yeah.
So
you obviously were hired in a marketing business and really a marketing position for a land surveying, right, business, right? So it's quote unquote marketing. The reason I ask that, and I want to talk about this, is you have a creative approach. You have a beautiful cactus next to you right now.
I do.
It's actually my cactus, everyone, just so we know. He presented it to me. But talk about that. What do you do, and explain that process.
So in marketing, everybody knows this. You go around, maybe you give out some gifts like wine or cheese or cookies, and that's great. And that does work, and everybody is appreciative of that. However, it's gone in a day or two, and then the client doesn't necessarily remember you. I came about this cactus building and giving out to clients pure by chance, where I bought a house and I had a cactus in it, and I realized when things fall off, they start to grow. So one day I just planted a cactus, and I don't know really why I even did it, and I gave it to a client. This client actually went on for 45 minutes about how she grows plants in her yard and her grandchildren, and I was just like, oh, maybe I'm on to something. I made 10 more, same reaction all over the place. So then I make a cactus, I put my little card on there, and it's, it has my name and number and email address, but it says, the slogan is, let's grow together. Mm-hmm. And it's exactly what you want to do in sales and marketing. And it's like, everybody out there doesn't want a one-time customer, a one-off.
Right.
You want somebody, hey, Andrew was great to work with. I really suggest you work with him. Mm-hmm. You want word of mouth, and then you answer the phone, you answer the emails, and everybody is like, wow, he's really on top of his stuff and cares about my specific property.
Right. In the, that repeat, right? And
the repeat business, it's residual. Right. All my businesses are residual. So word of mouth is everything. And one bad job, you're only as good as your last job sometimes. Mm-hmm. And every job that, and if we do mess up, and we're all human, we all mess up, or things don't go exactly to plan, I'm right back. I go to that client, visit them. That's where I bring the wine in and say, I'm sorry. But at least I was honest, and at least communication's key. Because when clients don't get communication, it's over.
I think what people don't understand, even when you're delivering the bad news, first of all, it's how you deliver it, right? Second of all, it's just be honest and be communicative. Because we all know it. You got to rip the Band-Aid off. It's going to hurt a little bit.
This is what it is. I know.
But you got to just be honest and just talk to them. They're humans. A lot of times they're business owners, or they're this or whatever. Like, they've dealt with it. They've screwed up. Like, it's all good. Just be communicative. The whole ghosting, the radio silence, all that kind of stuff.
Doesn't do anybody but any good.
All it does is hurt you, right?
Yep,
it just makes that person that much more frustrated.
Exactly.
So, well, I think it's great. I think the cactus is so unique. It's interesting. We've had it. We haven't killed it yet, so that's good.
Very hard to kill, and that's why it works. So people are always like, I had nothing alive. I'm like, don't worry. A couple ice cubes a month, you're good.
Yeah, that's awesome. We keep them in the office. I think it's cool too that it's a steady growth. It's a slow, like, cactus obviously isn't something that, like a dandelion that pops up and it grows quickly and then it dies, right? It got a lot more meaning behind it. It grows slow, and that's what relationships are about. Yep. You didn't say let's grow instantly right away. It's let's grow together, right? And it's growing slow, and it's
however
cool.
fast you want to grow, I can help you.
Right. I'm here for you.
Right.
That's cool. All right. So you really do. I made a joke, but you do wear a lot of different hats, right?
Yes.
So. You've talked about a few of them, but you also have now inspections as well that ties into that. So explain a little bit about that.
So all the products or all the companies that I am invested with, it's all the same people. Mm-hmm. So from the very beginning to the very end of the real estate process, I can help you out and get you what you need to continue on to the next step of achieving the American dream, like I said, as in purchasing or building a home. Mm-hmm. So I can literally be talking to one client over one email about 4 products that they need for this one transaction, especially if it's, especially when it's their brother, their uncle, or somebody special. I really need hands on deck, all hands on deck for this. So, then I got into home inspections, which I started about a year ago in Miami. We worked out through all the bugs, and we came up with an app that is very user-friendly with everybody involved. The realtor, the broker, the buyer, the client, everybody. It doesn't matter. And it's very user-friendly, so everybody's on the same page and gets the report all at the same time.
That's cool. That's communication, right?
Yeah, it's
to the max, right? Then everyone gets it, and it just goes back to that staple. So when you say the app is so much different, obviously, you kind of mentioned a few things, but go into detail just about the business and the standpoint of like what makes a difference, from, you versus, other people and competitors.
Right. And I mean, an inspection company is a land survey company, and I get it. What's the difference? Not really the difference. The difference is myself and my staff.
Right.
You know, we're very communicative. We're going to tell you what's going on, good and bad. Like I said, the inspections was a new part of the system because everybody was calling me. I need an inspection or I need a survey. I don't know what I need. So I was like, I might as well get into this. So I recently launched it in the last month and a half over on this coast, the West Coast. And we're starting off small in Collier and Lee, but we're giving great attention. We're doing very accurate and fast inspections, which is imperative into the inspection time period during this. And this is very important for buyers and sellers. If you get a bad inspection and the buyer walks away, that's fine. Now you know what you need to fix before another buyer comes in. Or you have to drop the price to make it, you know, if you need a new roof, that's a new roof.
It's no joke.
I'm not going to buy a house that needs a new roof.
Right.
Either put it on before I get there or I'll do it and give me a price break.
Yeah, something.
And, you know, I'm going to do an inspection on my own house soon just to make sure that there's not a leaking pipe that I barely know about and catch something before it's a small problem, before you come home and there's 6 inches of water in your house. Yeah, it actually happened to me this morning, believe it or not. One of my pipes broke, and it looked like a geyser. I was like, oh, my God. The city was out there. Naples City was out there in 2 seconds, turned it off. I was like, thank you, guys.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just was talking to someone else, actually, and they just had a clogged drain, and they came into their bathroom. It was, you know, 2-3 inches of water, you know, standing water. And they're like, what do I do?
It can cost you. Big time.
It's crazy stuff.
All problems cost money, but big problems cost big money. Trying to prevent all that.
There you go. Tell me about the most important thing you've learned in your life, Jonathan. And then, like, how was life different from before you learned that? And then how is it different after you learned that?
I would say the most important thing in my life is clients as well. Keep good people. Surround yourself with good people. Good clients understand that there's going to be issues, and they'll work with you. They're not going to yell at you and never use you again. I recently learned that about 5 years ago, keeping really good people in my life, whether it's business-wise or just relationships. And again, going back to communication, communicate with those people all the time and let them know when things are good, let them know when things are bad, and, you know, everything ends up all right if you're very communicative. And I mean, my life has drastically changed since that point, and in all a good way. So I'm very happy with my marriage, and from there it stems out, and people, they can just feel it. It's a good energy. Yeah. And whether the market, you know, is down or up, it depends on where you're at. Where are you at in your life? And no matter where you're at, whether it's a $100,000 home or a $20 million home here in Naples, I can help you throughout the whole process.
And it's so cool that, you know, when you address that, like, it doesn't matter what the ups and downs. And I was listening to a podcast this morning, and they were talking about, you know, yes, when the market's hot, everyone that could get lucky will get lucky, right? But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, like, if you're a good, let's say, investor or good whatever, like, it doesn't matter, right? You're still finding those quote unquote good deals, and the good deals are still going to make you money. What the problem is when it's a really good market, even the bad deals make you money, right? So you get complacent, right? So it's just a matter of being vigilant when it's, you know, a good market or it's a slower market. You just got to be more vigilant when it's a slower market or a down market, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and Naples, Florida, for instance, we're in our own little bubble here. It's, you know, it's very attractive to the world, let alone the rest of the country. And, you know, my family and I just moved here from Jersey because a few people bought vacation homes, and now like half the town lives here from New Jersey, which is crazy and beyond me. But it's
I want to ask you this, because you have a lot of slogans. You got a lot of, I love them, like, kind of not witty, but like good comments, good sayings, whatever you want to say. If you had a billboard, what would you want it to say?
No, I think a billboard with my information on it and Polk Industries, and it would say, for all your real estate needs behind the scenes, and a picture of a cactus, and it would say, let's grow together.
That's awesome. I love it.
I think that's what it would be.
Yeah. People are like, cactus. Let's
Cactus,
grow together.
yeah.
What is he? You know, but it's going to say real estate. It's interesting. Yeah. Well, if you see him on I-75, that's right.
You'll know.
All right. Outside of work, I know we've talked about it a lot, and, you know, obviously we're here in regards to work. You know, what do you enjoy? What do you and your wife enjoy doing besides growing cactuses? What do you guys like to do outside?
Again, I mentioned Miami. We're always in Miami, probably once a week. I really enjoy that. I really enjoy the South Florida lifestyle, being outside, being part of the ocean, biking, running, the gym. It's just a great place to live. And I look up north right now, and even just as south as Georgia, I mean, it's 20 degrees. And we're out here complaining about a little rain.
I know. I know.
And
no, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with my wife. We just have a great time, and we work very hard every day. And there's no 9 to 5 here. It's 7 to 10.
Yeah,
every day. But I absolutely love what I do, and just out and about, you never know who you're going to run into. Just a person on the bus or the train, and they're like, man, I need this insurance, or I need an inspection. I'm like, hey, I got you. And I hand them a nail file.
Right.
My business card is a nail file due to the fact that at least 50% of the people I talk to are women, and they need nail files constantly. And whether it's a man or woman, everybody needs a little trim on their nails. And it just happens to work. It's functionality, and people keep them with them.
Yeah. Yeah, they always need one. I love it. But you're totally right. Like in entrepreneur, business, whatever, and networking, you know, it is just fascinating what can happen from meeting people. So
you plant a seed and it'll grow.
Yeah, I love it. All right, we're wrapping up on time, unfortunately, Jonathan. But man, I appreciate you coming on here, and I appreciate you sharing your experiences and talking through kind of the journey from even being in the wine industry into where you're at, and how you're holding different hats and you're able to offer different services. I think from a standpoint, sometimes people always look, oh, how can I go vertical? How can I do other things? And how can I offer more services? So it's cool that you're able to, you're not competing, you're just able to give those people multiple means or different things in a sense to help them, right? And that's what you want to do. So I appreciate you coming on here, sharing your story. Appreciate being part of Real Producers. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Andrew, and thank you for all you've done for me.
All right. Well, as always, RP Experience, extremely thrilled to have you on here. We're here at Venture X in the podcast studio. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode. See you guys.